Hello and welcome back to the training series of TAE certification. The previous chapters covered the groundwork for a successful TAS implementation, including preparations, designing a TAA, and addressing issues like TAS derivation from the TAA design. So today we will start chapter 4. In this chapter, we will shift our focus to the practical deployment and maintenance of TAS. This is the stage where the outcomes of the earlier stages become clear. There are three main sections in this chapter. 4.1, selection of test automation approach and planning of deployment/rollout. 4.2, risk assessment and mitigation strategies. And 4.3, test automation maintenance. And today we will begin with section 4.1. There are two main activities involved in the implementation and rollout of a TAS: pilot and deployment. The steps that comprise these two activities will vary depending on the type of the TAS and the specific situation. For the pilot and deployment, at least the following steps should be considered. For pilot, they are: identify a suitable project, plan the pilot, conduct the pilot, and evaluate the pilot. For deployment, it's identify initial target projects, deploy the TAS in the selected projects, monitor and evaluate the TAS in projects after a predefined period, and roll out to the rest of the organization/projects. So when it comes to the pilot, think of these four steps: finding the right project, planning it out, running the pilot, and giving it a good evaluation. And for the actual deployment, you will want to identify your initial project, get the TAS into action there, keep an eye on how it's doing for a while, and once it's proven itself, roll it out to the remaining organization or projects. So let's see the pilot project in more detail. Tool implementation typically starts with a pilot project. The aim of the pilot project is to ensure that the TAS can be used to achieve the planned benefits. So it's just like a test run before the big race. Now let's have a look at the objectives of the pilot project. First, we have dive deep. Learn more detail about the TAS. Think of it as studying a new tool so you can use it effectively. Then we have adapt and align. See how TAS fits with existing processes, procedures, and tools. Identify how they might need to change. It is usually preferred to modify the TAS so it fits the existing processes/procedures. If these need to be adjusted to support the TAS, this should at least be an improvement to the processes themselves. User-centric design. Design the automation interface to match the needs of the testers. Then we have standardize. Decide on standard ways of using, managing, storing, and maintaining the TAS and the test assets, including integration with configuration management and change management. For example, deciding on naming conventions for files and tests, creating libraries, and defining the modularity of test suites. Then we have measure and improve. Identify metrics and measurement methods to monitor test automation in use, including usability, maintainability, and expandability. Cost versus benefit. Assess whether the benefits can be achieved at reasonable cost. This will be an opportunity to reset expectations once the TAS have been used. And at the last, we have skill quest. Determine what skills are required and which of those are available and which are missing. So the pilot project is your starting point to make sure that your TAS journey is smooth and successful. So let's start with the steps of the pilot project, and the first step is identify a suitable project. The pilot project should be selected carefully using the following guidelines. First, we have do not select a critical project. When the deployment of the TAS causes delay, this should not have major impact on critical projects. The deployment of the TAS will cost time at the beginning. The project team should be aware of this. So let's say that you have a critical project in progress, developing software for a medical device used in hospitals. So any delay in this project could potentially endanger lives. So selecting this critical project as your TAS pilot could be very risky. If TAS deployment causes any delays, it might have major consequences on patient safety and project timelines. Next, we have do not select a trivial project. So a trivial project is not a good candidate since success of the deployment does not imply success on non-trivial projects and thus adds less to the information needed for the deployment. Okay, so let's say that you decide to pick a trivial project that involves testing a simple calculator application. So this project is very straightforward with only a few test cases and minimal complexity. So the deployment of the TAS in this context goes very smooth and you achieve the planned benefits without any major issues. So now let's see what's the issue. In this scenario, success in deploying the TAS on a trivial project may give a false sense of security. It doesn't adequately test the TAS capabilities in handling real-world complexities. So rolling out the TAS solely based on success in a trivial project might lead to problems when applied to larger, non-trivial projects. Then we have involved the necessary stakeholders, including management, in the selection process. So by involving the necessary stakeholders, you ensure that the TAS pilot project is a collaborative effort and all key players are on board with the selection. And lastly, we have the SUT of the pilot project should be a good reference for other projects of the organization. For example, the SUT should contain representative GUI components that have to be automated. Okay, so for example, after considering various projects, you settle on one where you are developing inventory management software for a retail client. So this project, while not critical, is substantial and involves a variety of GUI components that need to be automated, and it closely resembles the type of work your company frequently handles. So the lessons learned here can be applied effectively to other projects as well, making it a valuable reference. So by following these guidelines, you ensure that the TAS pilot project balances the need for meaningful insights without risking major disruptions to critical operations. It's a collaborative effort, including key stakeholders, and it closely mirrors your typical projects, making it a solid foundation for your TAS implementation journey. The next step is plan the pilot. The pilot should be treated as a regular development project. Make a plan, reserve budget and resources, report on the progress, define milestones, etc. So let's say that you are implementing a TAS to automate the testing of your e-commerce application. So you will treat the TAS deployment like a development project. You will create a detailed project plan that includes tasks like designing test scripts, configuring the test environment, and integrating the TAS with your existing systems. You will also allocate a budget for acquiring necessary testing tools and hiring additional testing experts. Milestones are also established to measure progress, such as completing the automation of key journeys within specific timeframes. So this entire structured approach ensures that the TAS deployment is well managed. The next point we have is an extra attention point is to make sure that the people working on the TAS deployment, that is a champion, can spend enough effort on the deployment even when other projects demand the resources for their activities. It is important to have management commitment, particularly on any shared resources. These people will likely not be able to work full-time on the deployment. Okay, let's try to understand it with an example. So let's say that you are a test automation engineer responsible for implementing TAS in your organization. So you work closely with the test manager to coordinate the deployment of the TAS. Now, your organization has a dedicated testing team that usually handles manual testing, and you are introducing automation to the process. So recognizing that the test team already has responsibilities related to manual testing on various projects, you can create a resource allocation plan. So this plan outlines how much time each tester will dedicate to learning, implementing, and maintaining the TAS. You also secure the support of upper management for this allocation plan. You emphasize on long-term benefits of automation, including faster test execution, improved accuracy, and cost savings. So management understands the importance of this transition and is committed to providing the necessary resources. Then we have when the TAS has not been provided by a vendor but is developed in-house, the corresponding developers will need to be involved in the deployment activities. Okay, so in your organization, let's say you have decided to build a custom TAS from scratch to align it perfectly with your unique testing needs. And the developers who initially designed and coded the TAS are already on your team. So during the deployment phase, you involve these developers directly. They not only understand the TAS code, but they can also make real-time adjustments and troubleshoot issues efficiently. So for instance, when you encounter a compatibility problem with a new software update, having the original developers on board allows you to address the issues quickly. Their expertise proves invaluable during the deployment process. So in each of these scenarios, the principles of treating the TAS deployment as a development project, resource allocation, and involving in-house developers are applied differently to suit these specific circumstances and objectives of the organization. Next step is conduct the pilot. Perform the pilot of the deployment and pay attention to the following points. Does the TAS provide the functionality as expected and promised by the vendor? If not, this needs to be addressed as soon as possible. When the TAS is developed in-house, the corresponding developers need to assess the deployment by providing any missing functionality. Do the TAS and the existing process support each other? If not, they need to be aligned. So conducting the pilot involves evaluating the TAS functionality to ensure it meets expectations and promptly addressing any gaps. Additionally, it also involves aligning the TAS with existing testing processes to maximize its effectiveness within the organization's established workflows. And the fourth one is evaluate the pilot. Use all stakeholders for the evaluation. Evaluating the pilot includes actively involving all stakeholders from various teams within the organization. Their input and perspectives are essential for a comprehensive assessment of the TAS deployment's effectiveness and impact on the entire project. This collaborative approach ensures that the evaluation process is thorough and well-informed. Well, that wraps up our discussion about the pilot project. We'll cover the deployment section in the next session. Till then, happy testing.